Imagine a world without narcissism in it, or especially a family without narcissism in it. Think about this for a minute. I want you to realize life is really simple. It's all the narcissism, it's all the sabotage, it's all the degrading, the manipulating, the lying, deceitful people that we're born into that messes up our life. Is this the way life is supposed to be? We're going to talk about this today. We're going to imagine how life would be if we didn't have these narcissistic people in our immediate life. Now, if we didn't have it in the world, that would be something to say. But let's just, for now, let's just imagine just our family. We didn't have it within our family. We had two loving parents with brothers, sisters, always cheering us on, always there for us. Why don't we have that? Why is it that people have children and don't want that for their family? I have wondered this so many times, so many years. What was the reason that our parents or parent or siblings did this to us? So, for instance, my mother told me one time that all she ever wanted was her own family because she wanted to fix things, right? Because she had a dysfunctional family that she grew up in. I know she had a rough childhood, but at the same time, her mother was kind to her, which was my grandmother on that side. Her name was Ruby. Very kind person. I never saw her raise her voice or get mad or blame or cuss her out or anything. Nothing like my mother was to her children. My mother was deceitful with a vengeance. Man, when she told you something, it was like her words had a sword at the end of them, at the end of her tongue. They cut right through your heart and soul. But her mother wasn't that way. And she would call over and tell everything. My mother would call everybody and basically tell them what's wrong with everybody else. That if everybody else on the outside world was right, her world would be okay. That's just the opposite of how it works. Once we get everything on the inside, we have resolve on the inside of us, everything on the outside will fall into place. Everything on the outside of us is just a mirror of whatever is in our inside world. We mirror who we are. That's why we attract who we are, not what we want. You want the right person, become the right person. So the point behind this video is wonder if we had come up in a loving, supportive, kind family. Would we be at a different place? I think I would be. Because I would say 99% of the trials I had in my life was my own family attacks from my own parents, my own siblings, my brother dying at 29, and the outside world never coming up and saying, hey, you know all that's dysfunctional, right? I just thought it was the normal. I just assumed that either I was the only one this was going through or everybody's family was this way. But I always felt broken. I always felt inadequate, unworthy, insecure. I never felt safe as a child. And honestly, as an adult, since their attacks are continuing, I still have this whole issue I've got to deal with on my toxic family. I blow it off, but it hurts still to the core that they don't see what they've done. They've cost me a whole retirement, with all my depression and attacks and taking advantage of my situation when I'm down versus being there to build me back up. We're supposed to be taking care of each other. We're supposed to be doing that in our family, but we're supposed to be doing it in the world too. Not ever giving more than what somebody's willing to do for themselves, though. I think that's the kind of the fine line there. Willing to support them and help them and encourage them, but only other people can do it for themselves. They've got to want it. So the purpose behind this video is understanding, yes, most of the issues in my life, my deep-seated issues, are from the attacks from my own family. I accept it. I don't complain. It is what it is, and I just try to do the best I can today. Would my life have turned out much different with a loving, supportive family? Oh, I think so. I think I would have married the love of my life right out of high school. I think I've told you on some of the other videos, I met my wife at 15, and my mother told me I was not worthy of a girl like that, so I let her go thinking I was doing her a favor. Only 30 years later, we are reconnected. No coincidence there, man. It was heaven sent. My wife has been my lifesaver. I've tried to do everything I can to give her everything that she never had. I love and adore her. She's so good to me. I'll give her basically anything she wants. I adore taking care of her, and I think that's the way it's supposed to be. I love the two kids that I married into this family, and they love and respect me, and I appreciate that greatly. And we live in harmony, never fighting, never arguing. I'm like, man, that's the way it's supposed to be. But I couldn't have that until I got rid of all the toxicity in my life. All the people that wanted to bring me down, that wanted to beat me up and then laugh at me. I've had situations to where both of my parents, at my lowest point, have laughed at me. Both of them several times. I finally got it. I finally understood. So I say these words to help you understand that once we live in truth, we see the truth and we accept it without anger. And believe me, you will go through an anger stage. I went through a very angry stage when I first realized what had happened and how I'd been played a fool. But as we progress, as we heal, and hopefully you see that I've come up. You didn't know me before, but hopefully you'll see the way I approach life is with kindness, with gratitude and appreciation. That everything I went through must have had a purpose. I don't understand what it was, but I didn't let it get to me. I've come out on the other end, and I want to share my journey with you to help you heal, to help you find peace and harmony in your life. It is possible. It may take a while. And you got to look at your whole picture and say, okay, where do I need to start trimming people out of my life? And I will tell you, this is the tool of a narcissist. They'll use guilt, shame, all these emotional tools to try to keep you reeled in. There's no need. Guilt, shame is to guide you in life. It's an emotion to guide you. It is never an emotions. Those emotions are not meant to live in. They're only to guide you. When I realized that, I'm like, whoa. If you do something out of guilt, think again, reevaluate. If you do something out of shame, look at whatever you have shame about. Have a resolve and get rid of that shame. I'm going to help you, guide you through all this. I'm not a doctor or a lawyer either. Doctor, therapist, lawyer, any of that. I am somebody that's been through hell and back. And if you're going through hell, don't stop. Keep going. Hell is not where you want to stop. I did that for a while, and I was stuck there for 12 years before I could get going again. I realize now if I had just stuck it out a little bit longer, I would have come out of it faster. I realize where I failed myself. I'm here to make you strong, let you know there's hope. There are answers for every single thing in your life. Please like and subscribe if you feel like I've earned it. I hope these were good words for you today to help you make great decisions. Believe in yourself. That is the very first thing you need to do, is make sure you believe in yourself. Without believing in yourself, how can you expect anyone else to believe in you? And that was very difficult for somebody that's been through what I have. I now believe completely in myself and know what I'm capable of. I'm always trying to follow my internal guidance system to make sure I know what I need to do next, to make sure that I'm creating win-win situations for everybody around me. Put yourself first, never taken away from anybody else. This is Joe Cox with Life Made Simple, getting you through this narcissistic world. I only wish you love, peace, and harmony. From my heart to yours, blessings.